Are we live? Are we live right now? Are we live? Gentlemen, are we live? Can everybody hear me? Okay, let's see here. Welcome in, Nolan.
What's up, Ian City?
Giving it a little bit of time right now to figure everything out because I've never gone live before. We're figuring everything out right now.
All right. I subscribed to your channel.
Man, thanks so much. Love to see
You
it,
got.
dude.
I'm your second subscriber.
Man, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
You gotta turn on your camera, by the way.
Do I have to now?
No, not right now.
Uh, Sorry, I'm doing something. My phone's in the other room.
Okay, let's see here. Wait, we have a viewer. Who's the viewer?
Oh, you're live already?
Yeah, we're already live.
Oh, shoot. No, I can't watch it on my
I
Chromebook.
unmuted it? Are we live? Are we live right now? Dude, I'm really confused. Are we live right now? Dude, I'm really confused. Oh. It says we have 3 viewers.
Does it?
It does.
Oh, wow. Ben said 3:15 Eastern on the story.
It's not Eastern. It's Mountain Time.
Yeah, I know. I know. You got that wrong.
He just wanted to sound cool. Shit, man. I'm nervous. Do you have any like links or anything like that you would want to display up here? Because I'm gonna display a few
No.
things.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Not on here. I'll just, if I do though, I'll just tell you at the point because on one of the questions, you'll probably want to pull it up.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we got Zane in the chat, everybody. We got Zane. Zane in the chat. He said, "Hey, babe." Love to see it. Love to see it, man. Oh, I can put people in timeout? That's adorable.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear me and Nolan? Type it in the chat if you guys can hear me and Nolan. Make sure.
Where is that?
Perfect. Everybody can hear us. Are we like even? Is the audio good, everybody?
Is it?
Okay, okay. Yeah. I think that we're good. We got 5
Yeah.
viewers right now. Oh man, this
All
is
right.
crazy. Why does AJ have a purple crown? What the hell? AJ, good job. I don't know how to get rid of your purple crown, but I think you're a top fan now. You're number 1.
How do I?
We got 6 viewers now. We got 6 viewers, dude. This is crazy. This is insane, man.
You should start streaming full time.
I think we should do that. Yeah, weekly we'll just have a debate with 2 random people.
Yeah. James Klein would like to debate you.
I'm sure he would. He said I thought he didn't like politics or something like that.
No, he does. He just doesn't like talking about it
Yeah,
in
so
front
why
of
do you
other
think it's a
people.
debate?
He's too scared. Why is it like that?
I'm moving my Christmas tree into frame so that everybody can see how festive I am.
There we go.
That's it.
Ooh.
Type in the chat if you guys like my Christmas tree. Yo, chat. Yo, chat.
Where's the
thumbs in
star
tree.
on it?
Yeah, I know there's no star on it. I didn't have an extra star. Other than the lack of the star, is the tree good, everybody? I'm a big fan, personally. Okay, okay. Gonna give it a few more minutes just so that everybody can get in here, get settled in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zane. Thank you for loving my tree. I appreciate that.
How long do you think we should have per each question?
Right, yeah, we have not set up those rules yet. So, I think, let's see, we both have 5 questions, right?
Yeah, so it's 10 questions. If we do go till 6:30, I have to call my sister because she has a class she's taking that she needs help with then. And so if we have 2 hours, that would be on 120 divided by 10. It's 12 minutes per question.
I don't know if we can get to every question today.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I say we both pick
3?
I think 3.
Yeah. We can do the other 2 another day, and we can add another question and make it 3.
Sure. Let's do 3 questions each today. That's what we're going to be doing. And I would also like to do in between each of them, I'd like to do like a 5 minute question time
Yeah.
where people can type in the chat a question that they'd like answered by either of us, and then we can answer those.
Uh,
Um, let's see. I would like to be recording this. I think I'm recording it. I can't tell, but AJ, what NFL team do I support? I don't know. One time I had a football Halloween costume, and I think that was like the Eagles or something like that. I can't remember. I know it was a bird. Can't recall though.
Cardinals.
Maybe.
That's Arizona's team.
No, no, it wasn't the Cardinals. No, sorry. How do I change this? Can I? No, I can't. All right. Well, we won't stall too much longer. Oh, here's the team. What team is this?
That's the Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, that's it. That's actually the team I support.
They won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, that's why I support them. Actually.
It's called a bandwagon.
Okay. I say we get right to it, everybody.
Oh, all right. How many people are in chat?
Looks like we got 3 so far.
Oh,
Oh, we
all
have
right.
5
Well,
viewers. 5 viewers.
oh, all right.
So, let's get to it, everybody.
All
All right.
right.
Let's flip a coin to see who can go first. You want to heads or tails?
Wait. Can you share your screen with me too? That way I can see.
Well, I'm just gonna do it on live, but
I can't pull up the live on my Chromebook.
Yeah. Okay, I'll share it too.
That way I can just see what you're showing me later on too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll choose heads.
You want heads?
Yeah.
All right, bud. You ready?
Yep.
Tails. All right.
All right.
Looks like I asked the first question.
All right.
So, this is something that I've had on my mind for a while. A buddy of mine who is actually in the chat right now. He's been asking about this for a long time. And the question that I had is, why is socialism bad, and or why is capitalism good?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll answer both because I put both down.
Yep.
I've researched both. So I think socialism is bad because it's not fair that you have to work harder than or that people work harder than others and can't have more money. So like some of the business owners and people who have more money, they worked to get where they are, and while some of the people who don't have as much money, they could not they don't have as much money because they didn't work as hard in life. So I think that's not fair that you have to share everything.
So here's the thing. That's a serious straw man of what socialism actually is. I mean, in the Soviet Union, did you know that every job had different salaries? The common thing of a janitor makes as much as a doctor, that's just not true. It's never been true. The point of socialism is not really equal outcome. It's, at least in my opinion, I'd say that it's not equal outcome. It's really to give everybody an opportunity. Because in capitalism, I'd say a lot of people don't get an opportunity. I mean, right now there are a lot of people that are working almost every hour of the week, and they still can't afford to live, and they can't afford to have any other amenities, which I think is wrong.
Another point I like to add to that, socialism, I think it gives the government too much power. We live in a democracy, and it's about the people and for the people. I feel like if we also had a socialist economy, it would give the government too much power and control over what we buy and kind of like some of the other things that our government would make.
So it would give too much power to the
Yeah, like the
government.
governments would be instead of like people running the like business owners running the company, it'd be owners owning companies. Like for example, like uh a Russian Amazon, where instead of buying products from Amazon from Jeff Bezos's company, you'd be buying it from Russia instead. And I think that's just giving them too much power because you can't always buy the better products.
So what you would rather have is a collection of oligarchs having all the power instead of the government having the power, who is
Yeah,
elected into office.
I prefer people having their own power and people having choice to buy what they want instead of being told what to buy.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I prefer people can have the choice to buy what they want and not be told what to buy.
What the hell are you talking about? With all due respect.
So, I feel like it gives too much power. The government controls the socialist economy, like in Russia, in China, in some of those other countries. Um, and that they're mostly countries where the government is the central power. The people have no like little to no say.
Hmm.
So, in America, you can buy whatever you want from whatever company, but in like a country like Russia, you can't buy whatever you want. It has to be from a certain government like company.
When you say Russia, are you talking about Russia right now, or are you talking about the Soviets?
I guess the Soviets.
You guess? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing. The way that we are living right now in America is we're buying things from monopolies. You know what a monopoly is?
companies.
No, monopolies.
It's like I don't know exactly what it is,
A
but I
monopoly
kind of
is where one large conglomerate, one large corporation owns pretty much everything in their own like sector of production. Like Amazon pretty much controls like everything like that you would just like buy, like a onesie or something like that. Like they pretty much have a monopoly on all of that kind of stuff. And
hmm
almost any like food that you would buy from the store is a brand that branches off from one larger company. Like I Mendelez or whatever it is. I think that they have like Oreos and a lot of other snacks too. But would it be better to be buying things from an unelected group that arbitrarily decides their prices, or would it be better to be buying it from a government who is elected and actually like is looking out for the good of the people rather than just profit?
I think it's a good point, but I still think we should buy it from the people. Um, because I feel like the government can control even more than um what people can because the government is more powerful than the people. And like for example, government, they're in a war right now. They're going to shoot prices up so much, but if it's the people and we're in a war, the prices might still be high, but they're not going to be as high.
Why would they not be as high?
Well, because they're not affected as much by the war as the government is. The government has to spend more on the military and more on
That's not how that works,
trade.
though. Because if a government is not incentivized by profit, they're incentivized to give what as like the best possible deal that they can to the people of the country. But a company is entirely incentivized by profit. Anything that they do, it needs to be like profiting them somehow, or there's no point in doing it. Like it doesn't matter what they're doing. They would rather treat their workers as bad as they can and make way more money than treat their workers like as good as they can and make a little bit less money. They are incentivized by profit, so they would be the ones shooting up the prices, not the government. Just because the government is fighting the war does not mean that they would shoot up prices, because scarcity would affect both of those entities equally. They would affect the government and they would affect the companies equally. The scarcity.
Well, can I go into the cap? Why I think capitalist is good too, though.
Sure, go ahead, bud.
Okay. I think that capitalism is good because it creates more jobs and business owners. It's good to have business owners, I think, because it gives people an opportunity to get some rich and obviously help others. Like we can create multiple companies. So like there's Apple and Samsung for phone that were created, and there's obviously Google Pixel. Um, I think it's good that it can create more because then it creates more jobs below it. So there's obviously people working for Apple, people working for Samsung, people working for Google. And I feel like that benefits the economy more because there's more people working and more people can get a job.
Well, the thing about that is employment in America right now is so much worse than it was in pretty much any communist country. It's kind of interesting. I can't really pinpoint exactly why, but I mean, Vietnam, China, the Soviet Union, they all had like bottom of the barrel unemployment. They had almost nothing for unemployment. Same thing with
Yeah.
homelessness. So I couldn't honestly pinpoint exactly why that is.
I think it that problem, like I said, kind of in our last debate, it's more of a people problem. I do believe there's some people that cannot work, obviously, because of like disabilities or mental health, but I feel like there's people that just don't want to work. And I feel like that can cause a problem. And I know it's hard to get jobs now because I don't have a job myself and I've been looking for one. But it really goes into a later question I have about that. I think you know which one I'm talking about. Do you? I think you're muted.
Hello? Hello? What? I'm trying so hard. It's not working. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you were just muted. I couldn't hear you.
Having many problems right now. Am I better
Yeah.
now? I think I was
Yeah.
quiet before.
No, you were fine before.
Oh, it's someone said that it was worse. So, okay. I'm
Uh,
sorry. What were you saying? I was not paying attention.
um, I low-key forgot.
Saying about our last debate, how it was a people problem?
Oh yeah, our last debate, I feel like some people being unemployed, it's a people problem. I've said that in our last debate about homelessness. I do think there are people that can't get jobs because of mental health and other problems and disorders. But I do think unemployment is hard right now in America, especially after COVID. But I feel like it still creates more jobs, even though it's the same numbers.
So you're saying it's a people problem that the people aren't willing to
That
work?
people are unemployed right now and homeless, it's a people problem.
So you're saying that the reason that there's so many people that don't have a job is because they aren't willing to
They
work?
they aren't some of them aren't willing to work. Yeah.
What about all the people that are looking desperately for a job but no one's accepting them?
I know I said that's me and that I know it is hard to get a job right now, but that goes into a question that I'm going to talk about later.
So what about all of the other people that are looking for a job? I'm confused. Like
I
I
know I'm saying that goes into a point that I'm talking about later for another question.
okay, so you're saying the majority of them just don't want to work? Like what's your evidence? I don't understand. Why would people just
Well,
not want to work?
there's people are lazy in the world and they don't want to get a job.
So you're blaming the
Um,
unemployment crisis on laziness.
Not all of it, some of it.
Some of it, most of it?
Like I'd say 25%, which is a huge amount.
That is not a huge amount. The majority of
Yes, it
people are looking
is.
for jobs in that case
I
then.
said some of it, not majority.
Yeah, I know, but that's still like not as that's not that much of it though. Like
How many people are unemployed right now?
I'm not sure, but that's not really important. The point is that the majority of people are still looking for a job. You can't blame that and say that's a people problem when you're still saying that the majority of people are still looking for a job.
Only 4.2% of the US is unemployed.
Yeah, that's like pretty close to the average of the world. That's not that's like That's not a low number. That's a pretty average
Yeah,
number.
it's 7 million people, so that's like 1.25 million people that are just lazy. That's a crazy amount. That'd lower the percentage by a lot.
No, it
Still,
really
it'd be
doesn't.
like
There's still all the people that are looking for a job. Like, what about them? Like, are you saying, what are you saying for them?
there's jobs out there.
So you're saying they're not looking.
I'm saying that they are looking, but it depends how they're looking. Like if you're just looking for jobs in your area, like I am, then that kind of makes sense because you might not be able to go anywhere. But if you have the ability to move farther away and look for jobs outside your area, then you can find one.
That's your argument for why the people that want a job can't get one?
The job market's hard right now. Yes, but it's like
So is the
not
job
every
market hard or
because
are people not trying hard enough?
it's both.
It's
Um,
both.
so we're in so for example, in Anthem, right? There's a bunch of people living in Anthem. A lot of people probably can't get jobs there right now because there's a bunch of people already have jobs in Anthem, like at schools, restaurants, whatever. Um, Now if we go like further north and go to like a place that has less people, then you're gonna be able to find a job there easier.
How do you know that?
Well, because why would less people in one area with more job opportunities ha have compared to a larger area with less job opportunities?
Sorry, what?
So in Anthem, there's probably more job opportunity or less job opportunities because there's more people. Now go to area northern of Anthem, there's less people up there, so that means there's more job
If
opportunities.
there's less people, there's not going to be more job opportunities because there's going to be less people going into those establishments. There's less people going into the establishments. That means that there's going to be less profit. Not less percentage, but just less profit in general. So they're not going to be able to.
You got muted again.
Brother, are you joking me? I'm going to kill myself. I'm so tired of this, man. Why does it keep doing this?
I don't know.
Okay. When did I cut off? I
Um,
basically I just said that if there's less people coming into establishment, there's going to be less net profit, which means that they're going to be employing less people. If there's less population, doesn't mean there's more job opportunity. It just means that there's going to be less people there, so there's not going to be a higher percentage.
I guess that's true, I guess.
I think that let's see, Craig Luther 2631 said, "You say capitalism doesn't help at all. How is socialism better for that?" Well, I'd say that socialism is better for that because there is not a profit incentive. Because that's a big like issue with capitalism is the profit incentive. People say that um, it makes more innovation or something like that, and that is good to have competition. And I don't think capitalism does that. I really don't. Because well, okay, let's talk about job availability though, because Craig Luther said that too. I think that job opportunity is helped in socialism because, yeah, there's no profit incentive. Because there's no profit incentive, people aren't only willing to employ you if they think that you're like the greatest candidate in the world. They are giving everybody a job. That's what the government is doing. They're giving everybody a job no matter what. That's like the whole point of socialism. But capitalism, you're only going to get a job if you're going to be properly exploited by the company that you're being hired by. So,
Yeah. Um, I do have a question that kind of is based off of this though. So you're like socialist, right? So how come a lot of the socialist countries like China, North Korea, uh, like they're mainly controlled by the government and not like good situations, like bad situations.
Like, why is the government tyrannical?
Yeah, like they control the people. Like you can't say certain things, you don't have certain freedoms.
I'm not quite sure. I'm sure it differs between like from country to country, but that's not really a socialist issue, I'd say, because there's been so many capitalist countries that have been that exact same way, and there are right now too.
Not as many as socialists.
So you're saying there's more authoritarian socialists than authoritarian
Yes.
capitalists?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's debatable. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think that socialism is the issue, though, because throughout history there have been plenty of capitalist tyrannical governments. So it's not like
Yeah, but that
socialism.
has changed
Yeah, and not every
since
socialist country has been democratic or has been authoritarian through history. There have been plenty of democratically elected socialists that have been
I know
authoritarian.
there's Sweden, Norway,
That's not
Finland, like
socialism.
Europe,
No,
European, but it's more I'm
those
talking
aren't
more in Asia.
socialism. Those aren't socialism. Those are social democracies. That's completely different. They're capitalist.
Oh, all right.
I'm talking about
Like
maybe
what countries?
Allende's Chile, Salvador Allende's Chile. I forgot his name, but there was one in Iran, I think, like Mohammed Mogadeen, something like that. There was one in Africa. I forgot what country it was called. Maybe was it Sierra Leone? I can't remember. Wait.
So now can I ask this though?
Um. Yeah.
Do you want to move to a country like that's a socialist country?
Sure.
Why?
Because I think that the economy would be better there. I mean, just look at China. It's so much easier to live there. I mean, like medical, like medical expenses, those are pretty much non-existent.
So
And
now you said the economy is getting great there. Do you know what the world's largest economy is?
America, but that's not the same. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm
The
talking.
U.S.
I just said that. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like the most GDP or anything like that. I'm talking about affordability. And America, one of the worst in affordability, I would say, cuz if you even have like one like hospital visit, you have one bad accident, that could cripple you for the rest of your life, which is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said earlier, it is incredibly difficult to survive like just in a normal like two bedroom or like one bedroom apartment if even though you're working most of the hours in the week, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So what country would you live in that is socialist then?
I live in China.
You would?
If I
So
spoke
do you know
Chinese, I
that
would,
Hong
yeah.
Kong is actually some of China is actually more expensive than the US?
Okay, is all of China more expensive than the US?
Most parts. So you'd live in the middle of nowhere in a country that is communist and they control the people there.
do you have
They
do you have
affiliate with Russia and North Korea.
do you have proof that the the standard of living is worse in most of China?
Well, they have 1 billion people there.
Okay, that is completely random fact, thank you
That's
though.
yeah. So you want to live in a country with 1 billion people that most of it is poor.
How is most of it poor?
China, unless if you haven't seen like the big cities, most of the streets are filled with homeless people.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
All right.
300 million people have no homes.
They lack adequate housing. 3 million. Wait. Assist. Um, okay, 300. Wait. Low homeless rate with 2024 numbers around 2.58 million people, approximately 1.9 per 10,000 people. So let's try America next. Approximately 0.23% of the U.S. population was experiencing homelessness based on a count of roughly 770,000 individuals, 18% increase from the previous year, record high in recorded homelessness. Total number looks about 770,000. It doesn't tell me what percentage of the population that is.
You just have to do
Yeah, it's
770,000 divide by
0.23% of the population. I didn't check
350. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
China.
That is. Wait, you said 770,000 are homeless in America?
Yeah.
That's 0.0, or that's 0.2%.
1.41 billion. Wait. What is it?
2.8 divided
3 million. Fuck.
by.
Okay, well, it looks like 0.002% of the Chinese population is homeless.
So that's about a 0.002% difference.
What?
So that's a very small difference.
No, it's not. I don't think you understand the difference between.
You said 770,000 in America are homeless, right?
Yeah, 0.23% of the population.
Yeah, that's a very small number.
Yeah, it's a small number, but when compared to China, China's is 0.002%. That's two decimal places difference.
Yeah, in the thousandth, or no, 10,000th.
Do you think that China is better at homelessness than America?
Barely.
Barely? How is two
Makes
decimal places
no
different?
difference. They have 2.4 million people that are homeless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you two things really quickly. I would like to show you the U.S. population of homelessness at
And it's more condensed.
and the Chinese at 0.0021%.
I can't see yours, by the way.
I know, I was just showing it.
Ugh.
So, I don't know. I'd say that China is far better with homelessness, but I do think that they are lacking in political freedom if you're making that argument, because I don't think that that's correct at all.
Yeah, I said that earlier, but yeah. But that's not what this debate is about. But do you want to move on to the next question? We've been debating this one for a while.
We can. Well, let's have a question section. Anybody has a question? We're gonna do 5 minutes. Anybody text in the chat, I will read out your question and we will answer it. First one in the chat, we will answer. And specify which one it's for. You got a few minutes. All right, I don't know if anyone has any questions. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. It's your turn.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. Zane said, Ian, how do you feel about the current Chinese political state? What do you mean, Zane? Also, Big King said, what do you guys think of a capitalist socialist mixed economy? Me personally, I don't think that it's correct because anything that has a mix of capitalism will eventually go back to an oligarchy at some point.
Because do you think our country's gonna be going back to an oligarchy at some point?
We are in an oligarchy as we speak. So, wait, what do you mean, Chase? What do you mean I ignored your question? What question did you ask? You just said You numbskull. Zane, how do I feel about the Chinese political state? I'd say, it's not good. I mean, I don't like that Xi Jinping is, like, taking, like, complete power over everything, and I don't believe in just one party. There should be multiple parties. There should be free elections. there should not be one supreme leader for life, but I
I
think
don't
that
think.
their economy is better, but I don't think that their political system is better. So go ahead and move on to the next question, Mr. Kane.
Okay. Do you think the 2020 election was rigged, and do you think we need voter IDs for the future elections?
Absolute classic here. So there's literally just no evidence. I don't understand.
You don't understand that? Okay. So let me ask you this though. Joe Biden had more votes by 6 million votes than any other president in US history. How's that?
Maybe he had a better campaign.
You're telling me he had better campaigns than Obama did in 2012 and 2008, than George Bush did, than even you can say even Trump or Kamala. You're telling me that was a better campaign than anything from the 2000s?
Potentially. I mean, Chase just brought up, he said the pandemic, which is a good point. A lot of people are probably angry over the way that Trump handled the pandemic. Zane said voter
Okay.
turnout, that's also a potential option. I mean, maybe more people turned out to vote because of him.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So in 2016 election with Hillary Clinton and Trump, the 136 million roughly voted that year. 4 years later, 23 million more people voted. This election, only 146 million voted. So the number went down from 159 to 146. So the number dropped. So there's no way that Joe Biden, who had 81 million votes, and while everyone else, the highest since that, or the second highest is 76 million votes.
So what are you saying here?
So you're telling me Biden is was the most voted president of the country, and you think that's real?
Maybe. I don't know. That doesn't,
Well,
that's not proof
so
of
now
anything,
remember,
though.
so remember in 2020, when everyone couldn't go in person really because so they had to mail in their ballots, right? They found out that a ton of them were missing. Yet there's more votes when there's many missing ballots. Also, there were voting machines too, and they were found out not to be accurate.
Well, first of all, I don't know what your sources are for this. Second of all, what about the several lawsuits that were filed against them that claim that the 2020 election was fraud? And I'm just gonna, here, let me actually share it with you so you can see this too.
Uh,
So I'm just gonna scroll through this. All these things in the middle, these bullet points, these are all different cases that were lost. Every single one of these was lost, and they all claim the 2020 election was fraudulent. Every single one of those was a loss. Then they all claimed that the
so
election was
I
fraudulent.
know I know that the Supreme or whatever the courts could say that that it was a loss in that, but doesn't mean it still can't be rigged. That doesn't really prove anything.
Well, the
You,
federal
you
court
can't
decided that.
no one can explain how there's 23 more million votes from 2016 to 2020, and then it dropped after that.
Well, maybe because less people had faith in the democracy, but after the pandemic, people were maybe a little bit more
Did you know that
distant.
actually dead people voted during that election more than any other election? You know it's possible dead people can vote.
How
You think
so?
that's fair? Well, if you're registered as a Republican or Democrat, and you're dead, sometimes they allow voting under your name. So let's say I had my dad died or something, and he was under a Republican. Okay, I could just vote for him and mail it in, and technically he voted. Many people did that throughout the 2020 election. There's actually I think I remember I saw something. There was this one person that died in the 1800s or 1900s, and they voted.
Okay, well, that's an anecdote. That doesn't matter. But I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, considering that there's probably millions of dead people that did vote, that's probably crazy.
well, is there evidence that millions of dead people voted, or did you just hear about a few specific cases?
Well, let's look this up.
And you said probably millions, which seems like a bit much. Kind of sounds like hyperbole to me.
Maybe it's probably less than that.
I'm not gonna lie, you haven't given me any evidence. This is none of this is evidence. None of this proves that it was fraud.
That is vote fraud, actually. I don't know how I can give you evidence on that. You want me to show you like a video of someone voting their dead parent or someone dead?
No, I want statistics. I want statistics. I want hard proof. None of this is hard proof.
Because you can't calculate how many people, like dead people, actually voted,
So
like the exact number, because it's fraud. That's against the law. People broke the law still.
okay, so then those
It's
shouldn't be
happened.
legal.
It's happened for years.
Are there a lot of those though? Because if the majority of the difference between the two races, if the majority of that difference was made up of those, then yeah, that would definitely be a voter fraud. But it definitely was not the majority of it. So if we just took that out and we took away those dead people votes out of that, the margin would still be there, and Joe Biden still would have won.
Okay, but that's not my full point. I'm saying that's one of the reasons. I named you three other reasons. I said there was mail-in ballots missing, and yet they got more votes. That the voting machines were never accurate. Not they were accurate sometimes, but not always accurate.
Okay. So is that really evidence that Joe Biden rigged it?
I mean, he probably paid extra money to rig it, the election, the Democrats, for him to
Probably.
win.
Wait, Zane, why'd you tell me to check Discord? What does this mean? Wait. Trump own research showed that voter fraud did not cost him election. He sent me something from the Guardian.
I've never heard of that.
It's British.
Oh,
Trump campaign debunked former president's claim. Yeah. Hey, oh shit.
FYI, you can move your truck into the driveway,
Okay.
and then when you do that, bring up the garbage cans too, please.
Okay.
All right.
Apologies. Father walked in.
right. I just found something, and it says that there was a study that 1.8 million dead people are still registered to vote.
Okay, did they vote in that election?
I guarantee you they did.
You guarantee me?
Yeah, because well, kind of leads back to my last point. How is it possible that Joe Biden got more votes and that was the most voted election than any other election?
Because people wanted to turn out more. People wanted to
Okay,
vote
but
more.
I get it if it's like a couple million more, but you're not understanding that it's 23 million more people voted. That's an outrageous number jump.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I could definitely imagine the voter turnout just being a lot more because people were more desperate. But there being more people voting and more votes counted, that's not proof that there was fraud. I mean, Trump's own legal team said that it wasn't fraudulent. Everybody's telling me to check Discord, man. Goodness gracious. Okay, so Chase sent me something. He said 128 million in 2016, 155 million in 2020, and 152 million in 2024.
I looked it up and I saw 136 million in 2016, 159 million in 2020, and 146 in 2024.
Okay.
And
Let's see.
that's from Google AI.
Let's see. Voter turnout in presidential election. All right, I think maybe you should stop using Google AI because this is an EDU. It says presidency, the American Presidency Project. It's a .edu, and 2016 136 million, 2020 158, 2024 154 million. So I'm not sure about that.
2024 is estimated.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That means it's not accurate.
Population estimate is from Census National Population Estimates. Voting turnout is based on the vote reported by the House Clerk. The voting eligible population. It doesn't. It just says that it was from multiple different sources.
Let me tell you this though. Okay. So in 2000, the winner had 50,000 votes. Then in 2004 it had 62,000 votes, or 62 million, sorry, million. Then it had 69 million, then it went back to 65 million in 2012. Then it was 62 million in 2016. So it was staying around the 60 millions for a couple of years. Then in 2020, 81 million for Biden. That's a 19 million increase
Okay.
in voting.
So still, that doesn't mean that the election was rigged in Biden's favor.
So, I mean, can you explain how there's 19 million more votes in one election?
Higher voter turnout.
Why? There's no reason for more people to mail in votes. If anything, there's more people that are going to go in person to vote. That year, it was all mail-ins.
Well, what about COVID? People aren't going to be going out and voting if there's COVID outside. I mean, they're supposed to stay indoors and social distance and whatnot.
So that can lead to rigging of elections because you have to turn in your ballots,
So
mail-in
are you
ballots.
blaming COVID right now, or are you blaming Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, because they missed a bunch of voter ballots. They don't know where they went. And yet there's more votes when there's missing voting ballots. I don't know how that's possible.
Maybe there were just more ballots in total.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Why does that not
Why?
make sense?
Because who gets a 19 million increase on votes in a single election for a guy who's 78 years old?
You're just saying that because you don't like him.
No, because, okay, I'll say Obama had good times as president. He wasn't a horrible president, but even his best year was 69 million votes. If anyone knew, like, Biden is not a better president than Trump.
That's subjective.
And Biden's not a better president than Obama.
Also subjective.
Well, I mean, not really if you look at the economy and everything
It's
during
still
that time.
subjective. People can still make their own decisions on that.
Okay, so you're telling me that people can think that Biden was the best president
Well,
since
that
2000?
was before he had even been elected yet. I mean, he had to drop out of the second race because nobody liked him after his term.
No one liked him his first term. It
No,
was
but
a voter
people
fraud.
probably had a little bit more faith in him when they were going into it his first term because they didn't know that he would be a not so great president.
Not true. They knew he was not going to be a good president.
How did they know
In the
that?
next election, they realized that because already Trump had the advantage because Biden's horrible economy from 2020 to 2024. That's how Trump won the 2024 election, why Biden dropped out.
I'm really not understanding your logic here on any of this stuff. They just keep sending me more and more links, man. I mean, everybody is just sending me so many links right now. This is getting a little out of hand.
All right. Well, do you want to move on to your next question soon?
I think we ought to move on to the next question, bud.
Uh,
Okay. So,
should we have question time, or did we kind of already do that?
yeah, I mean that whole thing was kind of question time, honestly. So let's
Yeah.
switch to the next one. I want to ask: is the Great Replacement Theory real? What do you think?
All right. So, um, you got to hear me out on this. I think yes and no to this. A yes and no. So, um, the Great Replacement Theory, right here. Let me make sure this is what it is. It's where you believe where someone believes where white people are getting replaced by immigrants and Jewish people, right?
Yeah.
Basically. So I think that is kind of right and kind of wrong. I do think that the white population has gone down significantly in America, so I do think the immigrant part is right. There's a ton more immigrants coming in America, illegal or actual legal immigrants. Um, and the white population is actually lower than it ever has been in America. And yeah, obviously illegal immigration damaged it, especially during the Biden administration when a lot of legal immigrants were coming in the country. Um, but I don't think anyone's planning a white genocide because I think that's part of the theory where that people believe that they're planning a white genocide to kill all white people. I don't think that's real. Um, and it's kind of being used to cause violence among all races. So I'm like kind of yes and no on it.
So you do think that white people are being replaced or no?
Yeah, I just said yes and no. I think that the population has gone down because of immigrants in the country, but I don't think that it's trying to be a white genocide. They're not trying to kill white people. It's just I think that more immigrants are coming in the country.
Okay. So I'm not really sure how to debate this fact, honestly. I didn't even do research for this one, honestly.
Oh,
So let's see. I want to see immigrant population in the U.S. versus white. U.S. immigrant population is 14%. White population is 71%. So I want to see like a sort of graph kind of thing. Let's see. Pew Research Center. Facts on U.S. immigrants, foreign-born population in the United States. It has gone up since 1970. It has grown gradually.
yeah, the white population is at 56.3 right now.
Where'd you get that from?
Hold on, let me look for this. This is Google. Yeah, I'll look for another source.
My Google AI said 71%.
Right now,
Yeah.
71%. Our Google AI is both different. That's weird. Did you look up white population in the US?
Immigrant population in the U.S. versus white.
Oh, okay. Um, here I'm gonna look for a different website. That way we don't have Google.
I want to ask this too. Do you really think that immigrants are so much worse for the country?
No, I think immigrants are good, but I don't think illegal immigrants are good.
Okay, so you really don't subscribe too much to the Great Replacement Theory.
Not fully, no.
Okay. I mean, I'm
I do think that the white population has gone down. And kind of with the law right now that I'll get into here with my next question, I think that does kind of affect white people, but I don't think it's like they're trying to kill white people or they're not trying to like fully like get rid of them completely.
okay. So I'd say you really don't subscribe to it too much. I think let's just move on to the next question.
Yeah. All right. Um My question is, do you think DEI is conflicting with people who have
Hmm.
true skills, experience, and qualifications, and should we keep it?
So here's the thing: DEI does not diminish the requirements to get a job. You know, it's not like if you're black, you don't have to do as much. That's not how it works. There are hiring quotas, that's true, but they don't like make it easier for certain people to get in. The whole point of it is to look past race and ethnicity and gender and all those other things and to, hire more equally and not
DEI does
make.
the exact opposite.
How so?
Well, DEI supports hiring more people of a certain race because obviously we know that back then there was racism against black people, and so there was a lot more people that were white that had jobs. But since then, that's actually kind of changed because more black people are actually getting jobs now at a rate, not per people, because that's obviously more white people in America, but it's really not fair because the companies are gonna have to meet certain requirements to get a certain number of people that are that race. I think instead there's a different thing we should do to do that. You could just hire anyone of any race. It doesn't have to be you have to meet requirements of a certain race. I
Yeah,
think that's not fair.
a lot of people do that too. Hiring quotas aren't the only thing that are like involved with DEI. There's also blind hiring, eliminating defining characteristics such as race, gender, and name, so that you can't tell what their race or gender is, so that
I
you
think
don't have
every
to.
company should do that, but DEI is full of including everyone just by race and gender.
No, not race and gender alone. There's a lot of other factors there too. The whole point of it is to create like a more diverse environment, not to favor any particular race. And besides, the idea or like getting upset that more black people are getting jobs is just ridiculous to me because historically they have had a difficult time being employed. They have been redlined and they it's
No, and I said that. I said that I think it needs to be kind of blind. You got to find like a blind way to find jobs. I don't think it's fair that just because you're white now, oh, we have too many white people at work. We can't hire you. Like that's kind of stupid. And that happens at actually a lot of jobs.
well, black people have had a really difficult time getting jobs even up until recently. It's just it's because there's systematic racism, okay? And do you
I
know
think it should be based off true skills, experience, and qualifications.
anybody would? That's not what I'm arguing. And
That's not what it's on though.
yes, it is what it's on. It doesn't
No, it's
diminish
not.
requirements.
No, it's not. People who go to college struggle to get jobs. People with actual master's degrees struggle to get jobs.
Yeah, so maybe that's not a problem with DEI. Maybe there's other
It
issues there, like the
is.
job market.
No, it's not.
How do you know that? How do you know it's not the job market? That would make a lot more sense than just the DEI being evil.
Okay, so how many of your friends have jobs?
I'm 16 or I'm 17 years old, man.
Okay, still, how many of your friends have jobs? I don't
Uh,
have a job.
I think Zane has a job.
You can count Ben because he had a job.
Okay, and then AJ has a job. Does Nolan have a job? I think Nolan has a job. Probably other people too. Why does it matter?
So now, do you have any friends that aren't white?
I got Pablo.
Josh,
Yeah.
does he have a job?
No, he doesn't. I don't think he does. Does he
Okay.
have a job? Everybody, make sure to quote me on that, or like make sure that I'm not right about. Make sure I'm not wrong about that. But I don't think he has a job. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, but I
Yeah,
don't know if you've been
he
to.
has no job. Zane just said. Yeah, continue.
Okay. So I've been to stores and I see that they're actually under the amount of people. So I've been to like a Albertsons near me and there's actually there's people waiting in long lines in one register. Now I look and I see there's a couple white people, there's a couple black people. That race part doesn't matter. What I'm saying is I've applied to that Albertsons many times, and never once have I actually gotten an opportunity. It has nothing to do with the job market. There's jobs opens there. I always apply to it. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with race. They have too many white people hired according to the percent, and
Okay,
so they're not hiring me.
so you're saying you can't make an assumption on anything else besides DEI. That's it? Why would Albertsons have a DEI with high schoolers, man? Does it really matter that much to DEI? Also,
Apparently, it does.
there are other
They want to include as
there are
many
other
non-white people as
things
possible.
there are other things affecting that besides just DEI. What if they aren't hiring more people because they actually
Then why
don't
is it
need
on their website that they're hiring? Why is it on the front of the store that they're
maybe
hiring?
they don't want you, man. Have you ever thought of that? You don't even have any experience with a
I
job.
and there's other people that don't have experience with jobs.
Yeah, I know. You got unlucky. I have experience with a job. I haven't been able to get any jobs either. That's not because of DEI though. Why would
Yes,
it
it
be,
is.
why would it be because of DEI? There's so many other issues there.
Because they have too many white people working at the job.
How do you know that though?
Just go into the store.
Go into the store, I see white people working, therefore DEI
Yes.
is evil.
None of it is based off of actual qualifications and skills anymore and experience.
That's not
Wait, you
what
said
DEI
you said you
is.
had job experience, right?
Yes, I have job experience.
So you can't get a job, right?
No, I can't get a job.
So you're telling me that because you have a job and you have experience, you can't get a job. That's because of DEI.
That's not
They're
because
not.
of DEI.
They're not including you.
Why would that be because of DEI? There's so many other issues there. Maybe people aren't actually hiring. Even if they say they're hiring on the website, they're waiting for the best possible person to
Go
hire.
into go in the store and tell me where you're hiring at, and tell me there's not spots where they're open.
Tell me where there's not spots that are open.
No, tell me like if you see spots that have like openings, like go to a cash register and see if they have like long
That doesn't mean
lines.
that they're
Not all of
waiting.
them are open.
That doesn't mean that they're looking to get somebody at that cash register. Maybe they don't have the finances at the time to hire somebody else. Maybe they don't need somebody else because they've had like a lot less.
A
people
store
come
in the middle of in Tremonto where I live, there's people always going in that store. They can afford it.
You don't know that. You don't know their financial situation. Just because there's more people going in there doesn't mean that they have more money percentage.
Yes, it is.
No, it doesn't. That's not how that works, man. I mean, there's
Yes,
a
it
lot
is.
of
More
other.
people go in a store and buy stuff.
This
That
doesn't.
means their prices are they get more money as a
This
company.
doesn't
It's called
occur.
profit.
It doesn't occur in a vacuum, and there's no evidence that it's like been rising or anything like that. It doesn't occur in a vacuum. There's other issues to be like taking into consideration here besides just DEI. Not everything is about race. Not every company has a DEI policy, man.
I never said everything was. Most of it is.
So everything that you don't like and every job that you can't get has DEI implemented. That's why you can't.
Majority of the jobs have DEI
Majority, not quite all of them, but the majority.
in this area. Yeah, because the ones that don't, the ones like the big companies like McDonald's, I can't work at.
I've seen a lot of people get hired at McDonald's, and I've seen a lot of people.
I know. The ones I can't work at, like McDonald's.
I've seen a lot of white people get employed at McDonald's. Actually, I know 2 people that have, 3 people actually that have. 4
I know
people
3
that have been that are white and that have applied to McDonald's and gotten the job.
I know
don't
3
know any black
I know
people that work at McDonald's.
I know 3 black people that have gotten jobs at McDonald's.
What about the 4 I just mentioned? That outweighs yours, bud.
Well, I'm sure there's more.
What do you mean? I'm sure there's more.
I'm sure there's more than 3 people that just work there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more than just 4 white people that work there.
Exactly. So we can't compare just based off numbers we don't have.
You are using anecdotes. You keep talking about how you walk into stores and you see empty cash registers with nobody working at them. That's an anecdote, my friend. You are using anecdotes. Anecdotes are not numbers, man. Numbers are
okay, but it tells the truth.
Anecdotes.
It tells the truth.
So
if they're a busy store, they need more workers.
What?
If it's a busy store, they need more workers.
Not necessarily. Maybe they don't need more workers. Maybe they're doing just fine on their own. Maybe they
Meaning
can't
the
afford
long
to hire
lines,
somebody new.
the long lines they have that people are waiting minutes for just to get their stuff scanned.
Yeah, but maybe they can't hire somebody new right now.
They have hiring things on their websites all the time. They always ask for people to hire.
And
they can
maybe they're
take
not
that
looking
stuff
for
down.
you. Maybe they just aren't looking to hire you specifically. We're going in circles right now, Nolan.
Why? That's because of
No,
DEI.
that's not because of DEI. That
Then
could
why is it?
could because you have no experience, and it could be
Okay, you
because
have experience,
it
you can't
could
get a job.
it could be because they're looking for somebody with more experience than you, or more experience than me, or
At
they're
a
looking for
grocery store,
somebody,
really.
or they're looking for somebody else that they know will work harder.
At a grocery store, really.
Maybe, yeah.
How do they even know I'm gonna work hard? I've never worked a job before.
I don't know how
I've never
hiring
gone in
works.
person for an interview because none of them have asked for an interview.
Have you ever gone in person to ask?
I have once, yes.
Okay. That really
A
doesn't.
lot of them say no before I even get a chance to go in person.
Yeah, I get that too. That doesn't mean that it's about race. Not everything is about race, man.
I never said everything was about race, but they make it about race.
You're saying that DEI is the problem when there's other issues at stake here.
They're forced to hire people based off race and gender. Then that's not a choice. It's just the truth.
They aren't forced to do it, they're incentivized to do it. They're incentivized to reach a certain quota of a certain race occasionally, not all the time. It's not always
Occasionally,
like
so it
that.
still happens.
It
It
happens
shouldn't happen at
sometimes.
all.
It happens sometimes because there, in a lot of communities, there's a historically low amount of black people that have jobs because they've been, unable to get jobs. They've been, man, what's
That
the
has
word?
nothing to do with race. That has stuff to do with qualifications. It has stuff to do with hardworking and other things.
A lot of black
It
people,
always hasn't been about race until DEI came in.
you don't know that.
DEI affects everyone almost. I mean, there's only a certain amount of people can be hired at a company based off race and gender. That's horrible. That's being racist. Just saying, "Oh, we hired too many white people. We can't hire anymore now."
That's not being racist, man. They're just
Yes,
looking.
it
They're
is.
looking for a more diverse.
That's indiverse. That's not being diverse. If
No,
you can't you're not allowing a certain group of people working, even if they might have more experience or might be better for the job than someone else based off race and gender. That's horrible.
they're looking for something diverse, though. Maybe they're looking to have a more diverse working, um,
Diverse should
diverse
be
group
based
of
off
workers.
skills, experience, and qualifications. It
It
shouldn't
is
be
still.
about race and gender.
It is
It's not
still.
about that.
It is still based on that. It doesn't diminish your requirements at all.
No, it does not.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
Oh wait,
doesn't.
no, it's DEI affects because of race. They don't want to hire too many white males. They want to hire maybe a black female or a Mexican male or someone else rather than a white person because they have too many white people working there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing just because of their color. I think that there's people that are trying to get jobs who have more experience, qualifications, and skills that aren't getting it because of their race. I think it's horrible. And my question is, do you think it's conflicting with people? And it is.
What do you mean? Do I think it's conflicting with people?
Do you think DEI is conflicting with people who have true skills, experience, and qualifications? It is.
No, I don't think so.
But it is.
It's
People can't get jobs because they're comparing races to another and not actual skills.
to another.
Yeah, to another. To other people. One guy and another.
Okay. Well, I really don't think that that's the problem. I think that they're trying to create a more equal one. They're trying to properly represent the people in their community by getting a correct ratio sometimes, I'm not really sure, but we are really going in circles right now. Chase is right. He just said that in the chat. We are going in circles. This is ridiculous.
Alright, so should we move on to the next question? Next question then?
Yeah, let's have a quick question segment. Anybody ask a quick question. I will answer it, or he will answer it, either of us, or both of us. Dang, man. Okay, Emily Chauvin said, Nolan, what do you think about nursing being considered as a non-professional degree? Excuse me.
What do I think about nursing as a non-professional degree? Like, what do you mean by that?
What do you think about nursing being considered as a non-professional degree?
Yeah, what's a non-professional degree? Like,
Uh,
what do you mean by that?
I'm not sure. Can you specify on that in the chat, yo?
Here, I'll look it up.
Zane also said, Nolan, do you believe January 6th was justified?
Depends. Who are you putting the blame on? Trump?
He just said, was it justified? What do you think?
I think what the people did was wrong, but they weren't told to do what they did.
Okay, so you don't think it's justified?
So I think that Trump said to have peaceful protests, and that's not what happened.
So you didn't want the violent insurrection?
No one wanted a violent insurrection.
Okay. Um, so Emily said, based on Project 2025. What do you mean?
Project 2025 never happened.
Nursing
People said it was going to happen and hasn't happened.
professional Project 2025. Controversial 2025 U.S. Department of Education policy change potentially tied to the broader Project 2025 initiative that classifies nursing as a non-professional degree for federal student loan purposes. Do you think it should be a non-professional degree, yes or no?
Wait, hold on. Let me read the definition of a professional degree.
Okay. Big King is getting upset right now. I don't know who this Big King is, but he said, hey, Iano and Nolan, what are your thoughts on guns? Should they be banned, regulated, or left alone? What do you think?
I think they should not be banned. It's a right to be armed in case of a tyrannical government. Simple as that.
I think that we need some major regulations. I can't
I
specify.
agree with that. I think that people who have a criminal history should not have guns.
Wow, congratulations, Nolan. But I think that I can't get into specifics. I haven't researched anything. But yeah, whoever Coletta 90 is, I think that they're right. The law has failed. I mean, school shootings have gone up, and I think that school shootings, oftentimes, if they're done by a teenager, they're getting their parents' weapons, which means that we can't just like minimize the people that we're selling it to, because that doesn't mean that less people are getting the guns necessarily. I mean, I could get a gun since I could legally get a gun, and then I could give it to my friend who's like murdered 3 people, and then they could go and murder more people. Or I could give it, or my son could steal it from me and go kill somebody.
Maybe it should be fingerprint locked guns.
That is very, very complicated. I don't think that you understand how guns work, mister. I'm not sure.
I haven't done research on it either.
Yeah, I haven't researched it. I think they should be regulated, but I'm not sure to what extent
I
exactly.
think people deserve to have guns, though, still. Citizens.
Maybe, yeah. What do you think? Do the Project 2025 thing?
Sorry, I remember what we're talking about, but what was the question specifically again?
Nolan, what do you think about nursing being considered a non-professional degree?
I'm not too sure about it, but is that where like the loan is like more expensive for it
I would
or
assume
cheaper?
So. I would assume that they're getting less of a loan.
Like it's gonna be cheaper.
Non-professional graduate programs including nursing. Yeah, non-professional gets 100,000 and professional gets 200,000. Do you think that nurses should be getting less money than anybody else? Than medicine, dentistry, law, and pharmacy?
Yeah, I do. I think that's fair because medicine and law is kind of higher up because it's kind of more important. I'm not saying nurses aren't important. Maybe it should be a bit higher, but I think that medicine and law are kind of like really big because that's like doctors specifically, like they're curing things. That's lawyers who are kind of protecting people. So I think that's good. I'd have to do more research on it, honestly.
Okay. We're going to take our last question really quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next question. Zane said, Nolan, do you believe that they should be able to bear assault weapons, though? Not talking about guns for hunting like shotguns or rifles. Not talking about guns for hunting, like shotguns or rifles, ARs, MGs, and full auto assault weapons used in war. Zane, I assume that you know that full auto is illegal, but I'm not sure. So,
That is illegal. I think that having what we have right now is fine. Except I think there should be limited to people who get it. That's it.
okay, well, this isn't a debate, but
I think let me go back to kind of what you were saying earlier. I think that people should have the right to have a gun no matter what, and except for people that are criminals or that have a criminal history.
so anyone who doesn't have a criminal history can get one.
Yeah. And I think if like you said earlier, if you like give it to someone else, then that gun is registered under that person's name, so they both get in trouble.
That really doesn't make a difference. That just
But-
brings more people into the issue when it wasn't their fault.
Well, if they steal the gun, then that means they didn't have it locked or on them.
That's not really their fault, though. It's not their responsibility to do that. But
Yeah, we'd have to do more information. We should go to the next question.
move on. Next question.
All right, is it your turn?
My turn, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which
Okay.
one are you gonna ask?
So, is the two-party system good or bad?
I think now I kind of had mixed opinions about this. I was talking to a friend earlier about this actually. I think I prefer the two-party system right now. Because it's better stability and simplicity, like to vote on things. But at the same time, I can see that if there's no party system, then everyone can just vote based off their opinions. But at the same time, I feel like it's more stable and simpler if it's two people, because then you can just vote for one side or another. It's also effective for governing too, because when voting on bills, you got one side agrees with the bill and one side doesn't.
Well, I'd say that all those positives you just listed are actually negatives, honestly. I mean, yeah, I guess it's simplistic, you know. Typically, unless they're like a radical like myself, if you ask one person on the street, they'll say they're a Republican. Ask another, they'll say Democrat. It's nice and simple, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think that doesn't make any fucking sense when we're talking about actually governing a country. We're talking about governing a country, okay? We're not trying to make things simple. We're trying to make things good.
It's not about just choosing one side though. Like you don't just say, "Oh, I'm a Republican." You have your own beliefs.
You have
I
your
don't
own
know if you've
beliefs.
heard.
You have your own
I don't know.
beliefs, but you vote for a person. You don't vote for yourself.
Yes, but like, so when you vote for a president, okay? So like, let's say you vote. Let's go back to the most recent election. It was Kamala versus Trump, okay? Now, as a Republican, I would vote Trump because I think I liked his policies more. Now, if I voted for Kamala, that'd because I liked her policies more. That's more of an independent question. There's a reason I'm on one side or the other. It's because I like their policies better.
But that's the thing. There's only two questions or two options. That's not enough. That's not going to represent.
Do you think there should be more?
Yes, I think that there should definitely be more.
So I don't know if you remember what we're learning in history, but if you go back in history, when there's more than two candidates, it creates chaos among separate people. We don't want complete division.
How does that create chaos?
So remember when I don't know if you remember, but remember the other day when you learned about in the Lincoln election?
Yeah.
So there was a Northern Democrat and a Southern Democrat, right?
How does that sow chaos?
Well, because they are two completely sides agreeing on two different things. That's not fair. That's just creating you're for the same
representing more
party,
people.
but just what?
They're representing more people. There's probably a lot of Northern Democrats that don't fully agree with slavery, but there's a lot of Southern Democrats that do want slavery. So it shouldn't be an option between like yes slavery, no slavery, because the Northern Democrats didn't fully want to get rid of it.
Well, that was the
but they
only
didn't
two
want it.
sides. What do you want? Maybe slavery? No, it's yes slavery or no slavery. That was the only question. It's a yes or no question. It's not a yes, no,
Yeah,
maybe.
but they were representing more people because they were representing a more nuanced argument than just yes or no. They were getting more.
The question is just yes or no, though. It's not anything past that. If you're asking, if there's a bill coming and it says, "Do you want to ban slavery?" The only answers to that is yes and no. There's not a maybe. There's not a I'll think about it.
It's not
It's
that
yes or
simple.
no. There's two sides. If you agree with it, then you're on one side. If you disagree with it, you're on the other side.
It's not that simple. And I don't want to dwell on this specific one for too long because there's a lot to get to on this specific topic. But like, still, I don't understand. It's not that simple. Like maybe the Northern Democrats would petition for a bill to be passed that sort of limits slavery in certain territories, or like slowly tries to get rid of slavery, while the North, like the Republican Party, would try to just completely get rid of it. Maybe that's something that they would be doing. It's representing more people.
That's what
and
they
there's going to
tried
be a
doing.
higher
Did you
voter
know that?
turnout.
Do you know that the Republican Party actually tried getting rid of slavery slowly? They actually said that no more expanding slavery. And then slowly over the future, Lincoln actually thought he'd pay for slavery owners to get rid of their slaves to become free.
Okay.
They were slowly trying to get rid of slavery.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the Northern Democrats would be representing a more nuanced argument.
But the answer is yes or no. It doesn't matter how you
Listen,
do it.
I wanna
Remember,
bring
it matters if you do
I
it.
want to bring this back to the modern day right now, okay? Because to me, the
Yeah.
Democrats and the Republicans are the exact same to me. I don't see a difference between them whatsoever. Because they, in my personal, humble opinion, they are all just a bunch of imperialists, and all that they want is the expansion of capital. And they just want to, like, enrich themselves, really. They don't care about me. They don't care about affordability. They are bought and paid for by oligarchs, which is not what I want. I want a party that will represent me. I want a party that will represent my personal beliefs.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been in politics, but there's never been one of those.
A socialist party?
No, there's never been where they actually care about the people. So you want to talk about socialists? Let me bring up one big socialist, Mondami. You know, he was like all for the people, right? He's gonna make everything free. But you want to know what happened after he got elected? He asked for donations from his people. You think that's very, oh, I love the people. Give me money now so I can help you do these things. No, that's not fair. No ever person who's been elected has actually cared for the people. It's about what they think is right for them and what they think is right for their economy or whatever.
I think that Mamdani is still trying to make the city better for the people living in it, even if he's asking for some donations. What he's doing right now is revolutionary, and not literally. It's not literally revolutionary, but it's very different from what all the other politicians.
So what has he done so far as mayor that's been revolutionary? I know you not mean it literally. You have to look this up. He's asked for donations. He left the country to go to Puerto Rico to party,
Mamdani
celebrating
has
his
not
win.
been inaugurated yet. That's what I was looking up. He still hasn't been inaugurated. What the fuck is he gonna do when he's not inaugurated, little Nolan Kane, little
Okay,
fellow?
true, but he's asking for donations for things to happen. You're asking for the people who you want to help. You have to have that plan on your own. If you want to be socialist, you have to help the people on your own. You can't just ask everyone, "Oh, give me your money." Do you
I
think he's
don't-
actually going to use that money to help people? No, he's not. He's going to use it for himself.
I don't know his situation. I don't know what his plan is, but I think that he actually does kind of want to help the people. He has made a much more
Every
convincing argument than
person,
anybody
every
else.
politician has said that, no matter their beliefs.
No, but this guy is talking differently. He is making different promises. He isn't trying to he isn't running off of a campaign based on God, what's the word? I can't remember, but like DEI and like expanding that and all that sort of stuff. He's not giving lip service to stuff. He's actually making like complex plans.
Sorry, my dad was calling me. What were you saying?
He's actually making complex plans rather than just pandering lip
Every
service.
politician has come up with complex plans to make everyone better.
I have concepts of a plan. That's not very much of a plan, little fella.
He actually had plans, and I can name
concept of a
some
plan.
if I looked it up.
Mamdani was literally like he was telling his plan long before he was like close to being elected. Long before he even went into his actual mayoral debate, he had plans. He had an idea. He wanted to make
So
it more
Trump
affordable.
wanted the economy to go down, so he wanted to bring down gas prices, egg prices. He said that would happen, and guess what? Egg prices are low. Gas prices are below, I think, $3 across the
They
nation.
have not
Maybe
gotten any better.
maybe $2. Are you kidding me? Gas prices never not gotten better?
Based on what I've gotten, they have not changed since he got elected.
So, hold on, let me find this. I'm pulling up statistic right here.
And how did he do that exactly? Because the only economic thing I can think of for Trump is tariffs, but that didn't help the economy.
Tariffs did help the economy.
How?
The economy has been better since the tariffs. It
How?
results in more trade.
It results in less trade.
No, it does not.
He said that it
Japan
was
Japan is one country, for example, that literally traded with America.
okay. So you got one country that's trading more.
I'm sure I can name more. The UK was one. I saw that the Queen signed something.
Trump is
Um,
threatening people with tariffs. He's threatening other countries with tariffs. That is
and that's
not good
worked
economic
out.
policy.
Remember when China, that race between China, who could put more tariffs on who?
No, I don't recall.
So there was a time where earlier this year where Trump was putting on tariff on China. China put a tariff on America, and it kept going back and forth, and America wouldn't stop. China wouldn't stop. So eventually, China just stopped. They lowered their tariffs completely. America lowered their tariffs after that, and now we're trading at a cheaper price with China, who has, I don't know if you know, most things are made in China, so it benefits the country even more.
Okay, do you think that's entirely based off the tariff war? Also, like, I have not seen the effects of that personally. I have not seen anything gotten cheaper. I've only seen things get worse. I want to see change in my life. I don't want to see the GDP skyrocket like way up into the sky, and I don't want to see increased trade with different countries. I want to see a lower gas bill, and I want to see a lower bill when I go to the restaurant. I want to pay less when I go to Safeway. That's what I want. I don't want this, whatever
So in
this is.
2022, the national average for gas was $5.20 about. Now, right now, it is $2.99. That was during Biden and during Trump.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix my sound right now. Somebody said I was quiet.
Oh,
Is that better, everybody? Wait. Is it working? Is that better? Can you guys hear me better? Or
yeah.
I think that's better. Okay. Um. Okay. Somebody just brought up a good point. Ya boy. I don't know who this ya boy gentleman is, but he said that it harshly affected our relations with other countries, which I think is true. But I sorry, you said something and I said no. What'd you
Hold
say?
on. Well, my phone's about to die.
Can you believe this kid?
Hold on. I think my phone's probably gonna die soon, so we gotta hurry this up. I got 8%.
Can you not charge it, dude?
Well, if I do, I don't have a charger around me, or not a charger, a port around me.
Can you go somewhere that has a port, man?
I don't want to be laying on the ground for this.
You don't have to lay on the ground. Do you not have like a long charger or something like that?
No, this is the longest one I got.
A
It's kind of
decently long.
short.
There's no way you can't just like bring a chair over somewhere.
Yeah, but then I'll have to hold my phone. That kind of sucks.
Can you prop it up somewhere or something?
Well, I kind of do have it propped up, but it's on my desk. That's why. Here, let me turn my light on in my room.
All right, everybody. Let's take a little breather, everybody. Brief intermission.
All right, I think I found a sleep. Hold on. All right, there we go.
Better?
Yeah.
What were you saying before?
So gas prices in 2022, I think around June, they were 520 globally across the US, I meant. That was about the weekly average. With Trump right now, it's 2.99 is the average.
That sounds like a
Now you're probably seeing more expensive in Arizona, right? Do you know why?
Mark
Because
Kelly.
because in places like California and Arizona, gas prices are more expensive because there's more people, and California has more problems and people from California are moving here. California is expensive. That's why gas is expensive.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the U.S. gas prices right now. U.S. average gas prices by state this week.
I'm sorry, it was 503 in 2022. That was my fault. But 520 to 503.
Economy gas prices changes. Data? Okay, where's Arizona? Here we go, Arizona. Previous years.
The
Okay, so
national average right now is 2.99 according to gas prices AAA.
I'm on finder.com. That's actually not a good thing. I got a .gov. U.S. all grades, all formulation, retail gasoline prices. So 2020, it says that the average was $1.96. 2025 right now it's saying it's $3 and one point.
Well, it's because gas was cheap in 2020 only because no one was buying gas because not everyone was traveling. But
Okay, so like, why are we only talking about 2022? Yeah, maybe that's because of like Biden's policies, but 2020, the difference is staggering. There
you
was
know
a
who was president in 2020?
I Trump and Biden.
Yeah. No, Biden was not president until January 6th, 2021.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
And look what happened right as he got in. Prices went up 20 cents, 10 cents, 30 cents, 10 cents, another 10 cents,
and
about
Trump didn't get in until
18
January
cents.
2025, and they literally have barely changed since then.
I guess that's a good thing. Actually, it was below. This website's a little weird because I've seen other websites with 2.99. Here, I'll show you right now. Well, let me flip my camera. So this is the fuel prices AAA. It says the national average is 2.99 and the Arizona's average is 3.27.
Okay.
This is the counties of America or Arizona. So Maricopa is 3.43, which is expensive. There's obviously it varies across. I don't know if I can find America on here. Yeah, I think this is only Arizona. Oh wait, no, here we go. Okay, this is a full America. As you see, it's cheaper near California because California is probably the most expensive state to live in.
40 and
And
slow.
what?
Nothing. Nothing.
It's true though. California is the most expensive. New York's probably up there too, but now you see here in this, especially over here in this central part of America, it's cheap other than Illinois, but that's probably brought down by Chicago. So gas prices are cheap. They're 2.99 average. I'm sure we can't get an exact number only
I
because
don't know what that source is, but you said that
this
it's
is fuel prices AAA or AAA, so I think that's like insurance.
you said that it's gone down since 2022, which is very true. But it also has gone down significantly since Trump got into the office. I mean, before Trump got into the office, it
Here,
hasn't
look
changed.
here, look at this. This was a year ago. That was when Biden was in 303. So it's went down 4 cents nationally.
That's not that much, man.
I mean, below $3 gas is national average is actually
Listen,
really good.
I really don't want to dwell on this much longer because we're not getting anywhere with this. I'm gonna say, and I think that you should agree with me on this, but it really has not changed that much. Not as much as you're claiming.
Yeah,
We have
because
gotten
we're in
so off topic.
Arizona.
Oh my god, we've gotten so off topic. We're supposed to be talking about the two-party system right now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
forgot about that. How'd we get to gas?
I don't remember. But basically, my thesis for two-party system is that it's bad because it doesn't represent enough people's beliefs. And people aren't going to have faith in two parties that, economically at least, represent the same thing.
I can see the side, but I think it's simpler and more stable to have two parties. That's my thesis. My antithesis.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
Your turn next.
Are,
Oh yeah.
are we doing a question?
Questions? Anybody have a question? What makes it more stable? Oh yeah. What makes the two-party system more stable than like a several-party system?
So I kind of said this earlier, but kind of tying back to slavery. I know it's past, but in the past, but like there was either a yes or a no. That's how stability works. When you vote on bills, it's either a yes vote or a no vote. I think it keeps it like that way, and it's stable that way. It's fair.
Yeah, okay, but the thing about that is that parties are going to compromise and they're going to.
That's well, you vote for the parties. That you can't blame it on the parties when you're the ones voting for it.
Yeah, so I'm confused. You're saying since there's a yes and a no, and there's not like a third option when you're voting for a bill, we should only have
When you
two
vote for a
parties?
bill, there's a yes or a no
You're saying that
when
we
voting
should
on
have
bills.
stagnation because if we're trying to get like an equal amount of each party that's voting on something.
Well, they don't always have to vote based off their party. You can still vote on your opinion there.
So then why are you saying that the two-party system is more stable? That goes against
Because there are parts where you vote on that are different. So, like, if you vote on a certain bill and a lot of Republicans like it and a lot of Democrats don't like it, then the Republicans vote for it, yes, and it goes through because there's more Republicans. I think that's why it should be two-party. But you're still also voting on your opinion because I don't remember the government shutdown?
Yes.
So the vote was 55 to 52. There's 56 Republicans, but I think I don't think that number is accurate, but there's two Democrats that voted yes and one middle party, I forget what that party is called, voted yes too. There was one Republican that voted no, so there's still people that vote based off what they think is right.
So then
It's
why don't
not
we just
all
have more parties so that we can represent those people better? Instead of
two
having to pick
parties
between
creates more
one.
splitting though. We
Also,
already have enough split in the country.
Also,
We don't
having
need
two parties, that means that you have to pick the lesser evil. You don't get to pick what you actually want. You pick what you think is less bad. Because your views aren't represented anyways, so you might as well just have the one that'll do less damage to the country.
I don't really agree with that because if you're choosing between more parties, that's going to be more chaotic. There's going to be more problems. So when you're voting on bills, they're not even going to be able to pass ever.
How?
Because so you think right now people vote based on bills based off their party, right?
Yes, largely.
So imagine if there was more parties and they voted on their bills. So let's say there's four parties, okay? Two of them say yes and two of them say no. That's going to create the same problem we have.
Okay, well, we don't need four parties, and that's still better than having just two because there's more people that are being represented.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Hold on. My dad keeps calling me. I gotta text him.
You need to call him really quickly? Or
No, I'll just text him.
You're the next question, so.
Yeah,
What do
all
you
right.
think,
My
Alex?
next question. Um, which one? I think I know. All right. I'll do. Is college a scam and why or why not?
Okay. So I think it kind of is. Um, I think it is a scam because it should be free. It's a human right. Education should be a human right, in my personal humble opinion. And it also shouldn't be based on profit because a lot of colleges are based off profit, and that makes it incredibly expensive and difficult to get in and exploitative too.
I
And if you don't want
sorry.
a career, then don't go to college, obviously. If you don't want a career that you need a degree for, don't go to college. But I think that it's also not a scam, partly because if you want a job in the academia or anything like that, then you need a degree. It's going to give you an education that's very important. You
Mhm.
can't just get that off a high school degree. That's not enough information. It needs to be specific. And it's also a space for academic thought and innovation, and a place to practice safely, professionally, and productively when you're doing things such as, like medicinal things or anything
Mhm.
like that. You need it.
Yeah. So I kind of agree with what you're saying here. I do think college debt is bad now and it's expensive. Um, People, it should be cheaper. College debt is a problem in America. Um, and like you said, kind of, unless you're like a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, or something that actually needs like a degree, it's not really, there's no point in going to college. Um, Now I have a bit more to add on to that. I think at college has a bad environment. A lot of people drink, smoke, and do other bad things, which it's a bad atmosphere to be around. Um, you waste 4 years of your life to going to college, especially if it's for something that's not important, which means you have to wait longer for marriage, wait longer for kids, wait for longer for getting a good job. Um, And there's obviously a lot of stress from more schoolwork, things being due for multiple classes, not having your parents tell you to do this or do that. Um, Students don't remember most of what they learn. Like there's classes where I've talked to my dad. He took a degree that he wanted to he went to college for some degree that he wanted to do. It had something to do with music. Um, but he ended up never using his degree, wasted money, time, and in 4 years of his life. Um, and another thing, I guess this has changed too recently. Info is more accessible online. Actually, I know you can't get jobs with like you can't be a doctor just because you watch YouTube videos, but there are some jobs where you don't need a degree and you can just research it on the internet.
But it's far more efficient and it's going to be far more effective if it's being done by a professional.
I guess you could say that, but like I said, it depends on the degree. If you need a degree or not. Not all
So, what
colleges need a
degree would
degree.
you be able to just look up?
So there's actually announcers. There's sports announcers, broadcasters. You can go to college for sports broadcasting. For that, you could just watch broadcasting videos. You could just start writing your own
You
posts.
don't know
Like
what they teach in sports broadcasting class in college, though, Nolan. They might be teaching you more important things like how
no,
to work
so I don't know
equipment
if
and
you know
whatnot.
sports broadcasting. It's not actually a class. I mean, it kind of is. It's kind of like more like writing because I actually wanted to do sports broadcasting to go to college, but I'm not going to college anymore. But when you go to college for that, you're more like writer, like kind of like you're a journalist. You go to college for journalists and you want to be a sports broadcaster. And for that, you can write your own articles on your own and learn how to do that on your own.
So I don't
Then
understand.
rather
Why
go to
would you
college
want?
for 4 years.
But college seems like that would be so useful to learn how to do that effectively. You can't
You
just look
can you
that
can learn
stuff
that
up.
effectively online.
How can you learn that effectively online if you have to learn how to write things?
Well, do you know how to write?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Do you think I know how to write if I know what I'm talking about?
I mean, kinda, yeah, but you can't write
Okay,
on a
so I
professional
I want to
level.
write about if I want to be a sports broadcaster, I want to start by being a journalist. I can start at a young age and start writing
Yeah,
wait for him.
Excuse me, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
You're muted. I had to grab a package
Oh,
so
yeah.
give me a second.
Hello, hello. Can you mute? Can you what? Hello? What's going on? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, now you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on, I'm grabbing a package
That was
downstairs.
strange. Okay. Sorry, homeboys. My father walked in again. What a numbskull, am I right, everybody? Am I right, guys? Am I right, everybody? Hey.
All right, so back
Oh.
to her point.
Continue.
Hold on, let me sit down.
Get,
All right, so
get
back to her
settled.
point. A lot of people can write journals on their own and write their own kind of news based off their own information and grow from there. You don't need college to tell you what to write.
Do you need college to tell you how to write? How to write
You,
for specifically sports broadcasting?
I know what about sports though.
You know about sports? That doesn't mean that you know how to write about sports, though.
Well, that's why you watch YouTube videos and look at other sports
How
journals.
can you learn that just on YouTube videos? Like a college can tell you, like, can give you techniques and it can tell you, like, how to do things. Like, you
Here,
can't just get that from looking at stuff.
hold on, let me look this up real quick.
We got a close up on the Nolan hand. The cane fingers.
So how to write
What's that
a
Lego head? What is that Lego face short?
I don't even know.
Can you click
What
on
is
that? Can
that?
you watch that really quickly?
Here, all right, we gotta lock in. How to write a I guess what could we say? How to write a what should we do?
How to write for sports broadcasting?
How to write, that's good. How to write for sports broadcasting. Boom. Um, how to become a sports broadcaster, the behind the scenes.
YouTube shorts. You're gonna watch YouTube
Right
shorts.
here, campus journalism, sports writing types, example tips. Let's look at this. We aren't gonna watch the full thing, but we'll just like kind of see what it is. Here, I'll kind of do bigger screen. Here's an ad. Hold on. And this was 2 years ago. This is fairly recent. Okay. So it's part of English 17, so this is like for school probably.
Ah,
What
school.
is what is sports broadcast? See, this guy learned it, so you don't need it if you can find from other people.
So this one video, or like a few videos, can condense 4 years of studying.
Yeah, basically. Do you know
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna
take the same
argue.
you don't same take the same class for 4 years. You know that, right? You take multiple classes. Not
Yeah,
all of them are important to what you're learning. My sister's in college. She's in college for family therapy. Most of her classes have nothing to do with what she's trying to master in.
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go to college.
Tell me what I can't learn on YouTube that I can learn in college.
How to be a doctor.
Okay, but no, but I said that point earlier. If it's something like being a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, then you need to go to college. But I'm saying for a sports broadcaster, you don't need to like some of those smaller things.
How to be a
You told me to give you
politician.
an example. I gave you an example where you don't need college for a
How to be a
job.
politician. Political science.
There's politicians that aren't or that are um without a political degree.
Okay, and then what about oh wait, what about like biology?
I mean, I guess it's kind of in the middle. I don't know too much about biology, but I feel like you do need a degree, especially because that's like being a kind of like a scientist. But at the same times, you could do your own studies and publish them.
Well, You heard it here first, guys. I just lost the debate to Nolan Kane because he just said that you could be a scientist and you could be a journalist if you just look up YouTube videos. Let's move on to the next question, everybody, because
Isn't
I
that the
can't
last
do this.
question? We're doing 3 and 3.
Well, do you want to keep going or no?
What time is it? 5:13. Yeah, we can do more.
All right. Well, everybody, let's do a quick question. Anybody want to give a question really quickly? All right, Zane, you got it, bro. Go ahead, man. You take your time. Type it out.
Is he texting you on Discord?
No, he said I do. One moment. He's typing it out. I guess he's gonna take a little bit.
Oh, funny.
I don't know who these people in here are. Who's Coletta? Coletta 90?
Well, Ben posted on the story, so it could be anyone.
Yeah. Fortnite Gamer 126W4Q? What is this, dude?
I don't know. Are we waiting on Zane's question still?
Yeah, he's typing it.
Alright.
I can't imagine what kind of heavy hitter this one is. Hopefully Mr. B comes in here. He got a link, so
Mr. B?
yeah, Mr. B, Mr. Burnton, yeah.
I never had him, so I don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, because you're a stupid dumb idiot head.
No, I didn't take AP my first year because I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why, because you're a stupid dumb idiot head.
I took it this year though.
Stupid dumb idiot head. Dang, Zane, what the hell are you typing?
I think he's researching it before, maybe. Should we move on till he asks it?
Sure, might as well. All right. So
Alright.
everybody wants to know the answer to this question here.
Oh, I know what it is.
They already know the answer to this question, but they want to hear it from the man himself, and they want to hear it in depth. So, was Gaza?
I'll try and go as
was
in depth
Gaza
as I
a
can.
genocide, man? Was Gaza a genocide? Tell me.
Oh
wait,
no.
wait. Nolan, Zane said, Nolan, why are you saying that you can learn the same thing that people go to college and play sports for maybe 20 plus years for on YouTube in a 10-minute video? Question mark.
Wait, what? Sorry, what? What is that supposed to mean? Like you're talking about athletes that go to college versus ones that go on YouTube?
People that go to college and play sports for 20 or more years, how do you condense all that into a 10-minute video?
Well, that's a little different because when you're being an athlete, you're going to athlete so you can go to Major League Baseball. For example, Major League Baseball. There's a lot of high school players that go to the MLB too, but you have to be really good. That's based off skill,
I don't know
though.
if he's talking about athletes here. I think he's talking about the sports broadcasting thing you brought up. I'm not sure, but I think that's what he's talking about.
He said athletes, didn't he not?
No, he said, why are you saying you can learn the same thing that people go to college and play sports for maybe 20 plus years for on a YouTube in 10 minutes?
Well, broadcasting, for example, I mean, you're kind of like you're just saying what's happening. What during the broadcast, you're saying what the player's name is. A lot of it is memory based. You have to have a good memory to memorize who's playing, who did what, and all that. That can be taught very easily. You just have to know what to say and when to say it. And to continue it going. You got to continue the conversation going. But you can learn a lot from YouTube from that. You can look up broadcasters who can teach how to become a broadcaster. You can look up how to be a journalist by like certain writing styles or how to create your own website to write on or publish something to a specific website. You just gotta do it on your own. Not everything has to be of college. You're just told that you have to go to college because they want you to go to college.
Yeah, they want you to go to college.
They want to Now I think there's jobs like doctor, like you said earlier, that you do need to go to college for, and that's important. But there's some like most degrees, or I guess not most, but there are degrees out there where it's a scam to go if you do go to college for that.
Okay. That was just a question. I'm not going to debate it too heavy. So
Yeah.
let's get back to it. Was Gaza genocide?
No, it's not a genocide. And because Israel targets Hamas, not Palestine specifically, Hamas. And Hamas controls Palestine right now. And they're a terrorist group. And every time Israel attacks, Israel warns Hamas and Palestine about the attack. And they actually help Palestinian citizens before the attacks by sounding alarms.
I doubt that.
That's true. You can look it up. Hamas controls most of Palestine, like I said, and that's where Israel attacks. Israel doesn't attack parts where Hamas is at. Um, and yeah, that's kind of my beginning point.
Okay, well, I know you love anecdotes, so let's talk about the Flower Massacre. Are you familiar?
Not too familiar.
I'm gonna get a
Re-
picture. 'Cause I
recap
think
it.
this is gonna be a heavy hitting picture. Let me see. It's this one. Here we go. So basically, the story behind this is Israel came in with food. They came into Palestine with a shipment of flour, and they had like a checkpoint for it and everything. And as the Palestinian innocent civilians started to go into that checkpoint to get their food, get their flour, it was, as
Mm-hmm.
they went in there to get their flour, Israel opened fire on them and killed, I think it was like 122 civilians or something like that.
All right.
And
I looked it up, and it was 118 and 760 were injured.
so here's the heavy hitting picture that I pulled up. This here picture, this is what some are calling the most expensive box of flour in the world, everybody. Now, isn't that a cool freaking title, yo?
It's probably because a bunch of people died for going for it.
Good job, bud. You really
But
got there.
thank you, thank you. But now if you want to say that point, do you want to know about October 7th?
I know about October 7th. I don't need to hear about it
Yeah.
again.
So Hamas killed 1,200 Jewish
Dude, I said I
citizens.
don't need to hear about it again.
I know, but I'm pointing out that you can't point out something that Israel did when Hamas did the same thing, but to a large extent, actually, a way larger extent. Almost 10 times the amount of Jewish citizens were killed from that. They kidnapped many citizens, and it was on a Jewish holiday. And they actually kind of here's like a little anecdote, another one. The cat doesn't bite if you don't mess with it. The reason why Israel's fighting is because of what happened on October 7th.
So, what if that cat is just itching for a moment to bite the fuck out of their owner?
Well, the cat doesn't bite if you don't mess with it. In Palestine, or Hamas more so, messed with Israel. They killed 1,200 Jewish citizens. It's
So,
anti-Semitism why people blame the Jewish people in Israel for everything.
I'm not blaming Jewish people. I'm blaming Zionists. And I would
So
also
you think
like to.
Israel, but you think Israel's in the wrong, even though Hamas killed 1,200 Jewish citizens on October 7th.
Yeah. And I'm going to expand on that.
What?
I'd like to talk about some history really quickly, bud. So, are you familiar with the history of that little piece of land there? At least,
Yeah, it used to be with Egypt until like the 1950s, I think.
yeah, mid 20th century. Are you familiar?
A little bit. I should research it a bit more, but I know some of it.
So, basically, Israel was a colonial power. They they were instated there after World War II to give like a safe haven to the Jews, which is nice and all. And they really just conquered the land. They conquered Jerusalem and they conquered Palestine. There were several genocides, mini genocides within that. And the Palestinians have been oppressed ever since by the Jews because the Jewish, or not by the Jews, I'm sorry, by Israel. because Israel has been the colonial power. They've been far more powerful than Palestine, and they've kind of just been pushing them around. They are trying to create an ethno state here, which I think is wrong. Zionists are trying to create an ethno state.
We're blaming the wrong people. This doesn't happen if Hamas doesn't attack Israel.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the things that happened before that. Israel came in and they attacked the Palestinians, and they conquered their land unjustly.
Okay, well, I'd have to do more research on that once again, but I do think that as of recently, you cannot be blaming Israel for what Hamas has done. I've seen many videos of Palestinians saying that they don't support Hamas and they support Israel. I've seen many Arabs saying that they support Israel and not Hamas. Hamas controls Palestine right now, and that's a war because of Hamas.
Okay, so
You asked if the war in Gaza, which is Hamas versus Israel, is a genocide, and I said no because it's not a genocide because it's a war.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say back to that. I think that Israel is not following the Geneva Code very, very well, because they have killed a lot of civilians, and even though they'll claim that they didn't mean to, there's no denying that they meant to. I mean,
That's the whole part of war, though. I don't know if
killing
you
civilians. That's the part of war.
So remember when on October 7th, when 1,000 Jewish people were killed?
Stop bringing it up. I get it. Okay?
Then you can't blame them if they killed 1,200 Jewish citizens on a holiday. You can't keep calling it a genocide when they literally killed the Jewish citizens, and then you're blaming it on Jewish people or Israel.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine. But I'm saying that Israel is going way too far in killing innocent people. Yeah, Hamas may have been the issue there, but Hamas is not Palestine.
Hamas controls Palestine.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you can just kill every Palestinian civilian that you can.
They haven't.
They have. They've been killing them.
They set off warnings and alarms before
they've been murdering them. They have been killing entire refugees camp worth of them.
So you want to talk about a real genocide? We'll talk about Adolf Hitler in Germany, Nazi Germany. They killed Jewish people. And do you think the Jewish people started first or Hitler started first? It was Hitler.
Yeah.
The Jewish people were the genocide. Now this was started by Hamas. If Hamas didn't start it,
separate thing though. That's a completely separate genocide.
But they're still both. You're still calling both of them genocides.
Yeah, I am, because they're both genocides.
They aren't.
They are.
They're not killing a mass race of people.
They were. They were killing Palestinians systematically.
No, they weren't. They're killing Hamas.
They weren't killing Hamas, though. They were killing innocent children.
Because they're literally warned before they even attacked. They set off alarms. Palestine is their land.
Palestine is Israel's land?
Yes, right. Currently, right now, it's Palestine is in Israel.
Palestine is in Israel?
Yes, it's not an independent country.
That's okay. So you think it's not an independent country?
No.
That's not important, though. What's important is the genocide. Let's stay on topic here, because Israel bombed a hospital. Because
they set off warnings.
Okay, let's look this up. Did Israel set off warnings before all of their strikes against Palestine?
Here, come here. Look at this. I want to show you this. This I looked up. Now I'm not going to cheat. I said, does Israel warn Palestine before bombing? Yes, the Israeli military has a stated policy and a long-standing practice of issuing warnings to Palestinian civilians before conducting airstrikes on specific buildings in the area. The goal of this practice, according to the IDF, is to minimize civilian casualties, which is an obligation under the international humanitarian law. They do a thing called roof knocking, which is warning before to evacuate citizens before they attack. They give them phone calls, text messages. They leave airdropped leaflets, voicemails. They leave alarms. They try and get citizens out of there so they can attack Hamas. Hamas controls all of Palestine.
I'm trying to find like a source. Because Google AI is fine. I just like to see sources sometimes. In the current conflict that began in October 2023, a senior Israeli official stated that the roof knocking practice would no longer be the norm and would only be used under specific circumstances. Instead, the IDF has issued mass evacuation orders for entire regions, stating that anyone near Hamas's fighters is in danger. So that is a claim, but did they do that? Like it may have been a practice that they were trying to implement and pull off, but were they really doing it?
I found an article by ABC talking about how civilians were told by Israel to go to the city of Deir al-Balah for safety. Actually, it's on ABC News. Here, let me show you.
How are they supposed to get there?
You can walk.
They can walk.
Yeah, they're told to leave.
It's pretty difficult to walk across like an entire strip of land like that, especially when it's like entirely hostile.
Here, this is how far it is. Look at that. That's not
city.
that. Yeah, that's one city. So they're not leaving. They're not going far. They're hiding in shelter.
That's a map of a city, dude. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, okay? Do you see the green? That's where they were told to go. The red is where Israel damaged.
You're saying they didn't damage anything that
They damaged where Israel or Palestinian citizens were not supposed to be. They told them to go in a shelter. They told them to hide.
did Israel attack designated shelters. Yes, numerous reports from the United Nations, human rights monitors, and news outlets confirm that Israel has repeatedly attacked schools and facilities designated as shelters for displaced Palestinian civilians in Gaza during the current conflict. UN-run shelters, the attacks frequently targeted facilities operated by the UN. Civilian casualties, the strikes have resulted in dozens and sometimes over 100 deaths in single incidents, many victims being women and children. Designated safe zones attacks have also occurred in areas that were explicitly designated as safe zones or humanitarian areas by the Israeli military, including the Al-Mawasi area in Khan Yunis. I don't know, man. I mean, that one map is cool, but it's literally just from a news source. I thought you said you didn't trust the news.
Well, that was one example. You said you don't like Google AI as much, so you said let me pull up a source, and I pulled up a source.
Yeah, that's a news source. That's not what I meant. I meant like a reliable source.
There's no reliable sources. Anyone can make anything on here.
No, but what about like a .org or a .edu? Those are fact-checked. Those are peer-reviewed. Also, I'm getting a request from the audience to ask if you still think roof knocking is being implemented.
Roof knocking? Yes, it is. They're warned. Well, roof knocking is like they're warned before they attack, right?
I don't know. I thought you brought it up.
Yeah, I think it is.
Term used by describe this practice of dropping low-yield devices on the roofs.
A prior warning of them. Yeah, they are still doing that.
Okay, well, this is from Wikipedia, so not the most reliable, but CNN reported that many people in Gaza said the IDF had abandoned the roof knocking policy in October 2023. Senior Israeli officials stated that the practice would no longer be the norm and would only be used under certain circumstances. So, roof knocking.
Okay, well, I guess it may have been ended, but it's not official. It says CNN reported. So, like, just because they reported, we don't know exactly what's going on in Gaza. They could still be doing it. They still couldn't. I'm not sure about that.
Institute of National Security Studies.
Apparently, instead of using the roof knocking policy, Israel is issuing mass evacuation orders in leaflets stating that anyone who is near Hamas fighters will put their lives in danger.
Yeah, and then they killed everybody that went to the shelters.
When?
I just read that to you.
They didn't kill everyone who went to the
No, they didn't
shelters.
kill everybody, but there were several reports of them killing people that went to the shelters.
Who, Hamas?
No, Israel.
Israel told them to go to the shelters. They're not killing Palestine. They're killing Hamas.
Yeah, but they bombed their shelters.
Well, I'm looking this up.
Oh yeah, I'm getting another request from an audience member. Do you think that all 70,000 killed were Hamas?
Do all of them? No, but that's part of war. Not everyone who's innocent's gonna survive. They're in a war zone.
Civilian versus combatant. The ministry's count does not distinguish between civilian and militant. Oh shit. Okay, that's not helpful. Let's see. The human toll of the Gaza war. Sorry. October 7th, Hamas and Islamic Jihad combatants invaded Israel with a force of approximately 5,000. Oh, that's not it. Right. Direct deaths in Gaza and the West Bank. People killed in Hamas attack on Israel, 7th of October. Gaza residents reported killed in the Gaza Strip during Israeli military operations. That was 2,806 per month. People killed in the West Bank. 44 per month? What? I don't know what this means, honestly. Confusing. I'm not sure, but that is a lot of fucking people. I didn't know Hamas was even 70,000 strong.
Yeah, how many people do live there? How many people live? Oh, geez, 5.6 million people live there. 5.6 million people live in Palestine. That's actually crazy for how small it is.
Before the current conflict, Hamas's military wing was 25 to 30,000. During the conflict, it was estimated. Oh, Israel claims that they've killed 17,000 to 23,000 gunmen. So maximum 23,000 according to Israel of actual militants killed, but there were still 70,000 people killed. It's quite a few civilians.
Well, that's part of war. I mean, I know it's not always in the right. I'm not saying war is a good thing. I don't think there should be a war going on right now. But when one side attacks, the other side has to attack back and protect themselves. And that's what's going on.
Well, heard it here first, folks. You gotta defend yourself. I must use the restroom really quickly, so I shall be right back. But
Okay.
Yeah. We'll move on to your question next time. Actually,
I think I have two more.
let me share this with you. If any chat pops up that is a question for you, you can go ahead and answer it. Everybody go ahead and feel free to chat and ask a question.
All right. Oh, Fortnite Gamer, I think is I think that's Beckett. Who's downgrade 470?
Hi, everybody. Oh. Here we go, Nolan. We got a question.
No, sorry, I was doing something. Well, let me read it. How do you feel that U.S. accounts are based on other countries? U.S. officials, I mean. I don't know who you are, Emily, but I will tell you this. There's a thing called a VPN, and VPNs show that you're in other countries. They don't tell you the exact country you're in. That way, when you search or type different things, it doesn't show up. Yeah, I feel that they're VPNs.
That was a little rude. All right. It's your
All right.
question, so go ahead.
You think we should spend more or less on the military, and why?
Classic. So, I think you should answer first, actually.
Well, I think they should spend more. Now, here's why. I think that we have to continue to compete with other countries to stay on top of the world. The military is expanding fast, and soon there's gonna be artificial intelligence involved into the military even more than there is.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I apologize, everybody. My parents come in my room very often.
All right.
I'm sorry about that, everybody.
You're good. So, like I said, artificial intelligence. Whoa. Sounds like there's a fan in your mic.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Continue.
But there's artificial intelligence getting involved in wars and or not wars, but military, and with militaries continuing to grow across the globe or around the globe, like Russia and China, we got to compete with them because if we ever do go to war, we need to be able to protect ourselves. More power also prevents wars because countries will be scared to go to war if they see a military that's more powerful. Are you good?
Everybody's saying that's worse. Wait. What's wrong with the mic? Is it bad? What's going on? Can you guys hear me? Is it bad? What is going on? I'm
It
so
it doesn't
confused.
sound bad.
Okay, just continue. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
But it also we should spend money on the troops too because they're the ones fighting, obviously, and so they need the support when they do retire. Um, and we need to have many weapons and be able to defend ourselves in case of war, and we can help allied countries if they're in war and they need help.
Okay, well, here's my side of that argument. We already have the largest military. Continuing to spend, that'll only make it harder to have good relations with other countries because we can't just have all of our diplomacy based on big stick. That's ridiculous. And we have a lot of domestic issues right now, like a lot of domestic issues that we should be spending money on. I listen to a lot of right wing pundits, not because I agree with them, because I just like to listen to them because I think they're silly. And they always talk about how this radical left, they want to spend money on all this crazy stuff. They want to throw money at it with all this money that grows on trees. But, like, it doesn't grow on trees. It goes straight to the flippin' military, yo. We gotta, like, stop.
Technically, money does grow on trees because it's paper.
We gotta stop spending money on the military, and we gotta spend money on things that matter to the average American citizen. Because going to Afghanistan and killing a bunch of Afghan terrorists is not going to see any effects at home.
So what I'm hearing from that statement is we should have just let 9/11 slip through. Okay.
I don't think we should have gone to war with it.
So what do you think we should have done?
I don't know.
How do you know if you don't think we should go to war with Afghanistan?
What's the point?
Because they bombed and killed our civilians.
So we should send our brave military men to go and kill people that probably didn't even orchestrate the bombing.
We fought Afghanistans who were terrorists because when we got there and we actually killed the terrorists that caused the bombing, we saw other terrorist groups try and attack us and help the other terrorist groups. So we had to fight them. They started it, so we had to finish it.
How is that finishing it? Is Afghanistan in a better state now that we've gone in and intervened?
No, and I think that's from other problems, but I don't think that we still should have gone to war with them. I mean, they bombed us. They flew planes into two buildings, the Pentagon. They almost flew into the White House. I mean, it's serious.
It's serious stuff. That doesn't mean that we should just send our military over to fix that. That's because it doesn't
So,
fix
how do you
anything.
think we should have taken care of it?
I really don't think we should have gone to war with anybody because it doesn't solve anything.
So, we should have just let the people die and then just sit there and do nothing about it? Say, "Oh, sorry for the people that died. Yeah, we're not doing anything about it."
We don't need revenge, bud. Don't be petty.
You know how, bro, we would be viewed as a very weak country compared to the rest of the world if we didn't go to that war. We'll be more vulnerable to war from other countries and more terrorist attacks. That was to shut the countries up.
Did that really shut the countries up?
Are we at war right now? No.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But
No,
we
we
are
are.
threatening Venezuela.
That's nothing. Venezuela is not going to do anything in a war against us. Their military is far more weaker than the U.S.
Yeah, that's probably what we said about Vietnam too.
That was different. That was an enemy territory across the other side of the continent.
The other side of the world.
Or yeah, the world. My bad. Sorry. Across the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, well, I don't think that not going to war would have made us seem weaker to everybody else in the world than it would have. I don't think that it would have
Is
made
it,
it.
we'd be more vulnerable to terrorist attacks if we didn't go to war.
I really don't think that's true. I think that we are more vulnerable to, or less
So
vulnerable to
wait.
terrorist
So
attacks.
let me take. Sorry.
I think that we're less vulnerable to terrorist attacks because we've increased security on flights, and also because people have become a lot more Islamophobic and they've become a lot more stingy about
That's completely opposite. From your entire friend group hates Israel and Jewish
true.
people.
Not Jewish people, only Israel.
Okay, well, Israel is comprised of Jewish people, and every time I hear one of your friends talk, they always mention Jewish people being the problem.
It's not Jewish people. They're not claiming that the Jews are the problem. They're claiming that Israel is the problem.
And Israel backs their own country. So you're basically saying that you're against Jewish people.
No, I'm not. You're just twisting my words to make me seem like a bad person.
So wait, so you think Hamas or you think Palestine is good and they should be innocent for everything after killing 1,200 people?
No, and when did I say that?
So do you think they're both in the wrong?
Yeah, to an extent.
Okay, so then you can't be saying that it's a genocide if they're both in the wrong, and that's just war.
That's not how that works,
But
man.
well, that's the other topic. We're talking about spending money on the military. We need to stay on top of the world and compete with other militaries. If we stop spending, then another military is going to overcome us, and they're going to become more powerful.
We don't need to increase our budget. We can do all that without increasing our budget.
No, we need to continue to spend and more.
No, there are more important issues.
Like what? I mean, I know there are more, but like name some of the more important ones that we can actually fix.
Are you kidding me, dude?
No, like I know there are, but name some of them that
we
you can fix.
So there's some that you just can't fix.
Yeah, there are some you can't fix.
Can't fix homelessness.
Yeah.
Can't fix joblessness.
You can't just spend more money on jobs. That's just not how it works.
Yeah, but
it's a capitalist country.
It's nuanced, so you can kind of make it easier if you want to remain capitalist. You can kind of make it easier for business owners to create businesses, and you can make it easier for them to hire people.
You want to lower tax on billionaires?
No, I want to raise them.
So then that doesn't even make sense. So you want to spend money on creating more job opportunities while also
No, that doesn't represent my belief. I said if you want to remain in a capitalist country.
Okay, but no, I'm saying that you say we can spend it on creating more jobs open. If we got to create more jobs open, that means we got to tax less on billionaires.
No.
Yes, because they're the ones paying. They're the ones paying the people, and so are their companies.
Their companies are paying people?
Yeah, that's how, like when you work a job, you're getting paid by the store. You're being paid by the company.
They don't need tax cuts. I think they can handle themselves.
You're having two completely different points right now. You're saying that we have to spend more on creating more jobs, which costs more money, which means less taxes on the richer people who own the companies.
No, I don't believe in trickle-down.
But we also have to increase tax on people who are richer because they get too much money.
Yeah, I do think that. I don't believe in trickle-down economics. You're saying that trickle-down economics
those two points are literally against each other.
What 2 points?
The ones you just said.
That we should create jobs and that we should tax the rich?
Create jobs and tax billionaires more.
No, those aren't against each other. Creating jobs
is not
synonymous with taxing billionaires.
Well, billionaires have to spend their money to hire employees. Same with millionaires. Same with people who own businesses. What?
What about small businesses? Do we still have to give tax cuts to billionaires for those?
I guess that's different, but at the same time, how do you plan to make more jobs? Do you think you should just give money to businesses?
No, I think that we ought to completely abolish businesses in general, but that's something that's not really gonna happen anytime soon in America.
Yeah, because you're a socialist. You want the government to control everything, which will lead to communism.
Mm.
But I guess we can't really agree on anything here. We already said our points. So you want to move on?
I mean, I gotta pretty much go, so I don't think so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think that that's good for now, though.
All right. We'll save our last questions till another time and we'll create more.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk to the people for a second here, bud.
All right.
I had a great
Here.
time tonight, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys coming out and supporting the stream. Maybe we got to do this a few more times.
This was fun.
This was a great time, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys for coming. Um, make sure to stay smart, stay silly. Make sure to stay both of those things because you need both of those things.
Well, I hope you have a good rest of your night, Ian and chat. I know we don't agree politically, but it doesn't mean I hate you guys.
Yep. Yep.
I know you guys like to use my name a lot, but I don't hate any of you guys just because we disagree. But see you tomorrow, Ian, making our rubber band cars.
Yep. See you later, homeboy.
And thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye. Whoa. What a loser, am I right, guys? What a freaking numbskull, dude. Ho, 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 am I right, everybody? Goodness gracious, man. Well, hope everybody had a good night. Hope everybody had a good time watching the stream. We'll definitely do this a few more times. Not with just me. We'll have some other people on, Anybody who wants to debate, We could have Nolan on. We could have James Klein on. Anybody else who wants, anybody you know, I'm open for anything. So, make sure to, have a good time, everybody. I don't really know what else to say. I'm not used to streaming, but yeah. See you guys later, chat. I don't know how to end the stream though. Wait. Oh, this is how I do it. Okay. Good night. Good night. I'm not single. I have a girlfriend. Thank you, Big King. So see you guys later. Have a good one.